It's your girl D here. I'm here to bring you your Scorpio new moon video. This is for the fixed signs. So we're going to do Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius in this video. So we're going to talk about how the new moon energy of Scorpio in Scorpio season may be affecting everybody. All right. So if you want to timestamp this, feel free to do so. It's up to you. But I'm going to do Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. I already did the cardinal signs. So you may want to check out the video for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. All right. After this, I'm going to do Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. So for those who want to know. I saw the comments for the last video. Somebody said that I sounded shaky. So I don't know if there's something going on with the audio. I know I'm a little dehydrated in here. I need a humidifier in this room. Well, I'm not dehydrated. The air is. So I've been drinking water. So you may hear my voice crackle a little bit. It's because it's real dry in here. It's just one of those rooms where I need a humidifier. Plus, it's that time of year where the weather is changing. It's getting cold and it get a different dynamic in the room. So don't mind my voice, y'all. So let's get into this. So with the new moon in Scorpio, we're going to talk about Taurus first. There's a couple of situations going on. We got Pluto sextiling the new moon in Scorpio. Now for Taurus, Pluto's in your ninth house. The new moon in Scorpio is in your seventh house. And then the new moon in Scorpio is opposing Uranus and Taurus. And for you, that's your first house. So it's like, what does that mean? Right? So an example of what you may be experiencing with these energies here, with the new moon in Scorpio, that's on November 4th. All right. And we'll be into these energies for like about 2 weeks until we get to the full moon in Taurus. So what you could be experiencing here is, like, for example, how other people see you, which is scorpionic energy, other people's money. You dealing with other people's energy as well, their feelings, their emotions, as well as their money or their property, right? So you dealing with that energy, how they feel about you versus how you feel about yourself. So there's going to be a conflict there, because with Scorpio energy, there is conflict because there's change that people don't want, change that people don't want to accept, they don't want to deal with. They don't have no say in it. It's like a tower moment, how you didn't have no say, and then judgment. Now you have to make a decision on what you're going to do. For example, you could have got fired from a job. It's like, okay, that represents the Taurus energy, the opposite polarity of Scorpio. I lost my physical possessions. But what you're going to deal with Scorpio energy is now what happens after you lost your physical possessions. How do you psychologically deal with that? For example, you may have got evicted from your house. For anybody who's ever got evicted, you know how that feels, right? So it's like the psychological ramification of knowing that I can't go down that street no more because I don't live in that house no more. Or driving past the house where your house used to be and now it's torn down. It's like it's a psychological change that goes on. So this is what Scorpio energy is going to bring to us. So for Taurus, this energy is going to show up where we're looking at how others see you as far as your relationships versus how you see yourself when you're by yourself, right? So it's like, okay, do I want to be in a relationship or not? How do I want to connect with these people? Well, that's going to be manifested in your ninth house, right? Your ninth house it's got Pluto in it. So the ninth house deals with, okay, are you going to change your views about things? What are your philosophical views on this? What are your morals and your values on this? What's your higher mind tell you to do? Should I go with what other people are saying, or should I do what I need to do? So you could have, people telling you that if you got a new job, oh, well, we only can pay you this amount. And you're saying, well, I deserve this much. Here's my resume, and this is why I deserve it. So in the ninth house, you're using what you know, your knowledge. You're going to pay me for my worth. That's an example of what you may experience, Taurus, with this energy. So it could be situations where you know your value, you know your worth, but other people are trying to tell you otherwise. You're going to have to stand your ground in some way, shape, or form. It could be in a business contract, a work environment. It could be in your love life. We're dealing with Libra here, so it could be any relationship dynamic that you have. It could be a family member. So just keep a look at those energies again. So that's the ninth house for Pluto, the seventh house where the new moon in Scorpio is going to be for Taurus, and then Uranus is in your first house. Taurus is in retrograde. So you've been feeling this Uranus energy for a minute, this retrograde energy. So let's talk about Scorpio. Now, I'm going to make this brief But in no way am I saying that it's just this simple. It's just I wanted to get to the, quick and dirty version of it, so to speak, to give you a general understanding of what's going on. Of course, you can do additional research on your own. Most people do. But, this is in no means a way to try to downplay the complexity of the changes that people have to go through, because it's rough, you know. Scorpio deals with death, so it's like, what do you do when that loved one is not physically here in the Taurus energy? Taurus is the physical body. What do you do when that person is no longer in a physical body? That's Scorpio energy. Scorpio deals with death. What do you do with their property, their home? You may have to go to court. The taxes, you gotta deal with that. That's Scorpionic energy. So you may have to deal with any of these situations, Taurus, right? In any type of level of connection. So let's go on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, you're dealing with Pluto in your third house, right? That's where Capricorn is for you. And that's sextiling the new moon in Scorpio, which is in your first house, all right? Now, the new moon in Scorpio is opposing Uranus and Taurus. Well, what does that mean for you? You could be in situations where, people may misjudge you. They may look at you a certain way, and you're like, look, that's not what it is. Some people may think that, okay, you may not be wise or you may not be intelligent, and you're like, absolutely not. And so somebody may question you about that, or somebody may, come at you about that. It could be in any way situation. It could be something you said. It could be a paperwork you signed. Say, for example, to tap onto Taurus's energy, where now you got that job, right? And so they got you in the chair. You being interviewed. The interviewer is saying, okay, we're going to give you $10 an hour, right? Versus you saying, no, you're not going to give me $10 an hour. What you're going to do is you're going to give me 15. So there's a negotiation there, right? So once that's done, the way it's going to manifest for Scorpio is in your third house. That's where Pluto is. So Pluto rules Scorpio, right? Pluto is the actual physical change, that's going to happen psychologically because of the physical change that happens. So you're going to have to change your mindset. So for Scorpio, that's how you look at things, right? You may have to change your perspective or your view on things based on what somebody's telling you, or maybe you'll look at it like, no, you got it wrong. But somebody's going to challenge your view on things, whether they tell you how much they think you're worth with filling out a job application, or whether you have a family member, or because the third house deals with siblings, so it could be siblings or cousins or aunties or uncles. It could be a dispute between them. So, those are just two examples of how Scorpio could be dealing with this energy. Let's talk about Leo. Leo, what's going on? So we're dealing with Pluto and Venus and Scorpio. Actually, Pluto is in Capricorn along with Venus. Pluto and Capricorn are in Venus in your sixth house, right? That's sextiling the new moon in Scorpio, which is in your fourth house. Now, the new moon in Scorpio in your fourth house is opposing Uranus and Taurus in your 10th house. What would that look like? An example. So your fourth house is how other people see you. So that's in your family life, how your family sees you. Versus your 10th house. Your 10th house is how you feel about yourself, your reputation. How you feel people should see you. So it could be a conflict with that, your public life versus your private life, right? Now, where you're going to see that actually manifested is in the sixth house, where you got Pluto and Capricorn. So the sixth house talks about your daily routines, the things that you consciously do, right? So that is going to be challenged in some way, shape, or form, and you're going to have to make some type of change. It's whether you want it or not. So, with the fourth house, it could be maybe you have to move. You may all of a sudden have to move, and now your daily routine changes because of the fact that you don't live 10 minutes away from your job anymore. Now you live 35 minutes away. So now you have to deal with the psychological ramifications of getting up a different time, changing your route. How early do you need to leave? How long is it going to take you to get home now? That type of thing. The psychological changes that you deal with. So I feel like with that, Leo, that's one of the ways you may experience it. is that other people in your personal, your private life, people that are close to you, your family members, they look at you one way, but you're too busy focused on your reputation and how you see yourself. So there could be a challenge there with how you expect people to see you. So that'll show up in maybe you changing your routine. Maybe you start doing something different. Maybe people say the way you dress may be provocative, right? And so maybe people say, well, we can't take you seriously, or we can't, you're not going to get a job dressed that way. And you're like, well, you know what? I'll just have to, decide whether I'm going to start my own business, or whether I'll decide if I want to decide to, change my ways, make my hair a normal color, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it could be, because Leo energy is expression. So, how do you express yourself? By what you wear, things like that. So you could have people coming at you, like your family, looking at you one way, but you may have fame outside of your home. And so now, you're looking at yourself like, but wait a minute, I'm such and such. So there could be an ego issue here. So depending on how you handle it will determine, what's going to happen. But there's got to be a change here. Somebody could be challenging you, saying, hey, just because you're such and such don't mean, nah, nah, nah. Or you need to consider other people and not just yourself. Some people may feel that way about you. I'm not saying it's true, because I don't know you. But I'm saying that might be a situation, because Scorpio deals with conflict. We got Mars here. So that's why Scorpio could be toxic. Right? So, there could be a situation going on with how you see yourself versus the people that you connect with. They may need to understand that you're not the same person you used to be. Some of you may be dealing with that. So that's what I got for Leo. Now, Aquarius, Pluto is in Capricorn for you in your 12th house. And then that's sextiling the new moon in Scorpio, which is in your 10th house, right? You usually rule the 10th house, but in your chart, it's in your 10th house. And then we have your 10th house, where new moon in Scorpio is, opposing your 4th house. And that's where Uranus and Taurus is at. So what does that look like for you? An example. So other people, other people's energy, other people's resources, that's 8th house Scorpionic energy. So for you, that's in relation to your friends, because that's your 10th house. So your friends, the people you socialize with, the people you're in organizations with, whether you're in an orchestra or whether you are in a chess club, whether you're a Mason or whether you are a member of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So whatever organization you're dealing with versus what goes on when you're not at work. You know what I'm saying? What goes on in your private life. Now, the way that is going to be showing up for you is going to be subconsciously in your 12th house. So your situation is a little different here. So you may be having dreams. You may see some things in dreams about some changes that are going on, or that could be your subconscious being cleared out with Pluto. Because Pluto goes in like it goes in your closet. Pluto is like cleaning out your closet. So for Aquarius, what it's doing is it's going in your closet, which is your subconscious energy, your unconscious energy, and it's clearing all of that stuff out. Because, Libra season was when karma was served. We all got our karma, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, right? So now we have to deal with the psychological ramifications. So for you, we have to go into the unconscious mind, which is your 12th house. And Pluto has to go in there and kill the old so that the new can be born, right? So there's going to be, your private life versus your career life. What's going to be most important to you? So you're going to have to juggle that. So some of you may be doing that. And subconsciously, there's some things going on behind the scenes that you don't know that are going to put you in the path. So you got to listen to your dreams. Write your dreams down, Aquarius. Because it's going to be revealed to you there. All right? Or, meditate. Meditate. It's going to be revealed to you there. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at. So that's just one example. Let's see, is there another one for you I could come up with? Other people see you as far as your reputation. Yeah, it's your reputation as well. So it's how people see you versus how you see yourself. Like maybe you want to change what you do for a living. So people may have known you as a doctor. So maybe you decide you want to go back to school and you want to be a detective. So it's like, people like, oh, but I thought you were a doctor. But I know you, oh, hey, doctor, such and such, every time they see you. Now you have to, if you see these same people, now you have to tell them, oh, I'm not a doctor anymore, I'm a detective. So The way that's going to affect them or affect you is you're not going to know how it's going to affect them because you can't be in their head. You know, that's what the subconscious energy is, stuff that you just will not know. You won't know how it is. You'll only see how they act towards you. Deep down, they could feel a certain way. That's that scorpionic energy, that hidden energy. So you could be dealing with a situation like that, Aquarius, right? So that's what I got for the fixed signs. I wanted to keep this pretty quick, but again, I didn't want to take away from the complexity of it and the process itself, which is more, you know, you could definitely elaborate more, but I wanted to make this brief. All right, so that's what I got. So this video concludes Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. Now, the only one I have left to do is the mutable signs. That's Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces. So I'll be doing that next, just in case you want to check that out. Later.